Great state of Maine leading the way again. Residents of Maine will vote on constitutional right to food. Now, I read that first. It's like, what the heck is this? A constitutional right to food. So I have a constitutional right to the product of someone else's labor. No, that's not what's going on here. It's a constitutional right to grow your own food. I love it, man. So let's read this New York Post. Look at the moo cows. Moo. Moo. Look at Betsy behind me there. Oh, yeah. All right, Portland, Maine. Depending on whom you ask, Maine's proposed right to food constitutional amendment would simply put people in charge of how and what they eat, or would endanger animals and food supplies and turn urban neighborhoods into cattle pastures. This is the way it's no different than the USDA and the CDC, 2 years ago, and they run it, or 3 years ago, and they did it again, saying, backyard chickens are causing a salmonella outbreak. Run! These guys are freaking schmucks. Man. So let's read this. For supporters, the language is short and I would say sweet, ensuring the right to grow vegetables and raise livestock in an area where corporatization threatens local ownership of the food supply. A constitutional experiment that has never been tried. Ooh, take that, Maine. Love it. Yes. For opponents, it's deceptively vague, representing a threat to food safety and animal welfare, and could embolden residents to raise cows in their backyards in cities like Portland and Bangor. It's actually Bangor, but I always like to call Bangor because I'm from Maine, but I never knew it was called Bangor until a couple of years ago. In the November 2nd election, voters will be asked if they favor an amendment to Maine's Constitution to declare that all individuals have a natural, inherent, and unalienable right to grow, raise, harvest, produce, and consume the food of their own choosing for their nourishment, sustenance, bodily health, and well-being. Vote yes, my friends. The proposal is essentially the Second Amendment for food, says Republican Billy Bob Falkingham, who proposed the amendment. He says it's common sense amendment that would make sure that government can't stop people from doing things like saving and exchanging seeds as long as they don't violate public or property rights. There's a lot of disturbing trends in the food category with the power and control that corporations are taking our food, 100%. I'll do another video on that here shortly. Who says Falkingham, who's also a lobster fisherman. We want to protect people's ability to grow gardens and grow and raise their own food. Falkingham and others said the amendment is a response to the growing corporate ownership of the food supply. They see the amendment as a way to wrest control from the food of big landowners and giant retailers. But Julianne Smith, executive director of the Maine Farm Bureau, what's she going to say? That's a clown. She says, argue the language of the amendment is so broad that it could make the food supply less safe. That's a problem in a state where potatoes, blueberries, maple syrup, and dairy products are all key pieces of the economy. The amendment could empower residents to buy and consume food that isn't subject to inspections. Oh, no. Proper refrigeration and other safety checks. Oh, no. We have to have proper inspection, refrigeration, and safety checks for what you consume in your own body because we want to mandate something else. And we want to experiment on animals, too, to mandate that you take something that's been properly inspected. Okay. We think it's very dangerous to have the words to consume the food of your own choosing. It's dangerous for you to be able to choose your own food. That's so broad and dangerous. It has the potential to cause serious problems in food safety and animal welfare. The Farm Bureau is also concerned that the amendment could override local ordinances. It doesn't do any of the sort, man. Supporters of the proposal said the local rules would still be enforced and that the amendment would not mean you could do things like raise chickens anywhere you want or fish commercially without a license. The amendment is an outgrowth of the right to food movement, sometimes called the food sovereignty movement. Yes, the movement comprises a patchwork of small farmers, raw milk enthusiasts, libertarians, back to the land advocates, hippies, anti-corporatists, and others who want to ensure local control of the food systems. Maine enacted a food sovereignty law in 2017. LePage, if memory serves, didn't he sign that? Because before, stupid mills. The law allows local governments to okay small food producers from selling directly to consumers on site. It's especially popular with sellers of raw milk, which can be legally sold in Maine, but is more restricted in many other states. The nationwide food sovereignty movement has yielded similar laws in states in Wyoming and various other western states. The amendment is likely to find support among Maine's self-sufficient, practical Yankee set. However, this political science says, agree with Chris, and it's so vague it's unclear what it actually do. All right. For Heather, let's see. For Heather Rutberg, a small farmer in the small town, of Penobscot, the concerns about cows turning up in sillies are a silly distraction. 100%, man. That's what they always do. She has a 100-acre farm with cows, pigs, goats, and said the proposal is an antidote to corporate control of our food supply. Yep. It's also a chance to tackle the problem of food deserts, where residents don't have enough access to healthy food. All right, that's freaking fantastic. I love it. Go Maine. Vote yes on what was the amendment? Is that do we have a number on there? Is there an amendment? Do we have a? I don't see the amendment, but vote yes, man. Vote yes. This is good. This is good. I'll wait till this other video I'm getting ready to do on the corporate takeover of the beef market because it's freaking bad. All right, we'll see you.